Hi, my name is Cynthia Castillo-Castillejos, and I will be discussing 4 of the 6 principles of IDEA. The first will be zero rejection, which basically means all students who have a disability will receive a free public education. I chose this principle because I believe all students deserve an equal education and should not be rejected based on their appearance, abilities, or lack of. I find this will be an important perspective that I will apply daily in my career as an educator. Secondly is a non-discriminatory evaluation, which is an IDEA principle that requires schools to evaluate students to determine if they have a disability per IDEA's guidelines. If they are found to have a disability per the guidelines, then the school must then decide if that student needs special education or related services, and if so, they must create an IEP plan or individual education program for that student. This principle is important to me as an educator because it reminds me and other staff members that all students deserve equal services, including non-discriminatory evaluations. As educators, we must follow all procedures without bias. Next, I will discuss appropriate education principle. Appropriate education is defined in 2 ways. First, it will be the services that are provided to that student, where that service will take place, and who will be performing it. The second is the actual results that come from the service the educators provide to the student. Part of providing education, appropriate education, is creating an IEP plan. An IEP plan is required to be placed at the beginning of the school year, and as an educator, I find this principle particularly important because ultimately it is left up to me as an educator to provide instruction for my disabled students that they will receive in a general education classroom, and for me to be able to differentiate their work based on an IEP plan. This will be one principle that I will be utilizing daily for the remainder of my teaching career. The last principle I will discuss is the least restrictive environmental principle. The principle is one that is uniquely difficult but rewarding at the same time, especially when teachers find ways to include their disabled students with non-disabled peers, and they collaborate effectively together. Disabled students will also be included for recess, field trips, school dances, and etc. The IEP team will be required to determine to what extent a disabled student will be included with general education class, which is known as a mix and match rule. This is a final principle that I feel applies especially to educators because inclusion of disabled peers with non-disabled peers effectively is what makes a teacher a successful educator. Thank you, and may you have a blessed day.